So, I think it's pretty safe to say that Yeat has one of the worst fan bases in the underground. Like, it's actually kind of insane the amount of shade that he gets from his own fans. Now, as you guys all know, Yeat recently dropped an album called A Dangerous Life, and the opinions on this album were mixed to say the least. Yeah, a lot of people ended up not liking this project at all, and I can see why. It's definitely not his best work, and it's not the groundbreaking thing that he thought it was going to be. But some of these fan reactions are bordering on just psychotic parasocial attachment. Now, I want you to imagine your favorite rapper just dropped an album and it's a hot pack of mid. Now, if you're a normal person, you see this happen and you're just like, oh well, I don't really see any of this going into my playlist, I'm just gonna move on with my day and listen to something else. However, if you are one of these Yeat stans, you're gonna go on Reddit where there's a bunch of like-minded chuds such as yourself, and you're just gonna proceed to circle jerk with this community and make a bunch of hate threads about Yeat. Now, I did a little bit of research into the lore about this Reddit, and apparently there are two dedicated subreddits to the artist Yeat. Originally, there was only one, and it was your typical average artist subreddit. Then, around the time I'd say 2093 dropped, and the release of that ended up dividing a bunch of fans, with some calling it his best work and others calling it trash and saying he needs to go back to his old sound. That's when a bunch of these Redditors that really dislike new Yeat decided to come together and make their own subreddit, which is basically just a circle jerk where they hate on Yeat 24/7. And some of the posts that I've seen while scrolling in order to make this video today, it made me stop and think to myself, wow, you know, a lot of underground rap fans are low-key really fucking parasocial. It's just a cesspit of the same hate threads with the same talking points, recycled unfunny memes about him making music that appeals to Israel. Oh yeah, and they also like to make jokes about him being gay. And it's just a hive mind of people perpetually stuck in 2021 wanting old Yeat back. And apparently every single thing that he has dropped post 2024 is just unlistenable garbage. Like, I personally was a little bit disappointed by A Dangerous Life, but let's not act like every single song on that album is absolute trash. There are a handful of good songs on there, and people are just in their feelings because he didn't make Up to Me Too. They're also very obsessed with Israel. Like, one of the big running jokes in the community is that Yeat's new music is basically goy slop. And I guess it can be funny as a joke the first few times, but they kind of just keep recycling the same thing over and over again. The first Israeli thug. Israeli mandated slop versus actual innovative music. New Yeat fans when it's time to defend ADL and praise Israel. Yes sir, whole squad finna be in Israel. Yeat never recovering again. Lil Pup def gonna fail. New Yeat is Israel. And when they get bored of making the same jokes about it, they then resort to talking about Yeat's manager and clowning on him. Because the basic consensus with Yeat fans is that Zach Bia, his manager, is a large reason why his music sounds so different now, and why arguably to a lot of fans, it's not as good. But in this subreddit, they are talking about him like he's a war criminal. There's obviously your typical Israel jokes that they like to milk. They joke about him and Yeat being in a gay relationship. I've even seen a couple of posts on the subreddit that I don't think I'm able to show on YouTube, where they jokingly plot to assassinate him. At least I think it's jokingly, because I mean, with this parasocial ass fanbase, you can't really put anything past them. But I guess I'm kind of just struggling to understand how someone can have so little going on in their life that they devote all of their time to just being a Reddit chud, preying on some random person who doesn't even know them's downfall. And what's honestly kind of funny is that the general consensus between them is that Yeat is a flop, he fell off, he's completely irrelevant now and nobody cares about his new music, but if you actually look at his Spotify page, you'll see that his top 4 current most popular songs are all recent music that he's dropped, with 2 of the songs actually being from his most recent album that everyone's clowning on him for. So yeah, that is the toxic cesspit known as the Yeat subreddit. What do you guys think? Comment down below. And with that being said, I'm gonna see you guys in the next video.